Here we are with the 120-pound brackets in both the North and the South tournaments. We'll start the North first. And junior from Quakertown, Todd McGann, is the number one seed with an 18-0 record. In this weight class, you also have Michael Cliver, freshman from North Penn, which has been, kind of recurring theme in these early brackets. A lot of freshmen with, that shown a lot of promise and, come with a lot of talent to the table. You have Danny Grace, another freshman from Ben Salem, is the 3 seed, and then Gabe Whittington from Central Bucks South is the 4. Looking at the bracket, you have McGann, I believe, is the hands-on favorite to win this. I think he ends up getting to the finals against Cliver from North Penn and ultimately winning. But if we look further into this bracket, Wittenberg from Plymouth Whitemarsh is a tough sophomore, but he just runs into Grace from Ben Salem, who's having a great freshman season. Whittington from CB South is tough. Talked about it in the one of the earlier brackets about all the Abington guys. Not sure we're going to get out of Andrews. He got into the bracket based upon the fact of what he did in previous years on the strength of that. With that said, only having one match, what are we gonna see out of him now that he's here in districts? So again, Whittington though is the who I believe is going to win. Again, Ethan Bean is a tough out from CB East. So let's jump down to the consolation bracket. Myers and Wittenberg. I believe Wittenberg wins in a battle of wits there in that consolation semifinals. I think Whittington from Central Bucks South wins. Andrews and Bean with the win over Andrews. Grace from Ben Salem beating Bean, and then Whittington beating Grace for third place to round out the top 4 going to regionals. And it's McGann from Quakertown, Cliver from North Penn, Whittington from Central Bucks South, and Michael Cliver from, Danny Grace from Ben Salem in 4th place. Jumping over to the South in what is probably the deepest weight class in District 1, all the tournaments, where you have Jay Maldonado, returning state medalist from Boyertown. You have Keanu Manuel, 2-time state qualifier from Downingtown East. You have Jimmy King, who's a state qualifier from Westchester Ruston, and Cannon Hershey, a state qualifier from Oxford area. Those are your top 4 seeds. So as we go into the details of this bracket, Maldonado has Sam Gautreau from O&J Roberts, a talented freshman who's 9-0, who needed some the seeding meeting on Wednesday night to actually get into the bracket. Deservedly so based upon his resume, but Maldonado is going to be too much for him, I think. And when it comes down to it, you got a senior on a freshman, an accomplished senior on a freshman who again has a high ceiling, but it's. He'll be competitive, but I think Maldonado is going to be, just a little too much for him. Quinn Smith, another O&J or another Springford product. He's going to be pretty tough. I think that's going to be one of the better matches of all of the quarterfinals of the first round matches in all tournaments will be this Quinn Smith, Jimmy King match. I give the nod to Jimmy King. Again, just a little bit more accomplished, but Quinn Smith is as tough as they come. He's going to be a tough out, and there'll be more on him later. I think King loses to Maldonado. I got Cannon Hershey and Matt Reiki. Again, not punishing Hershey. It is what it is, and it's a shame what that district did to that program. Waiting so long to give them the ability to come back and everything. And I know there's more details to it than that, but this isn't the time or the place to hatch it out. But I just think overall, I think that the wrestlers were done a disservice, and that's where I'm going to leave it. And Riki's just having a great junior year. He's 12-1 right now. I think just based on the fact he's got more matches in, he's going to be a little bit too tough for him right now. And then Max Parnas, again, another young guy, sophomore, having a great year for Westchester East. But Manuel, again, he's just so tough, and just love watching him wrestle and compete. This final is one of the more anticipated finals you're going to see. And again, one I can't wait, and I have circled on my of my matches to watch. I think Manuel is just primed to find his way to the podium this year. He's found disappointment in the end of his last 2 seasons. I think he's going to make a statement by beating Maldonado in the finals at 120. Now, again, talking about how tough this weight class was just to seed the top 8 in the South, and so the more so than ever, the competition in this consolation bracket is going to be crazy. So we're gonna get down to it. Got Gautreau and Smith, some pack on pack matchup there. Again, Smith, I just think he's going to come out with the win there. He's just the experience of a year of high school wrestling, I think, is going to be a difference for Smith over Gautreau there. Hershey and Parnas, some Chessmon action there. I'm going with Hershey. And this is where it gets interesting. Riki and Smith and Hershey and King to go to districts, not to go to states, to go to regionals, not to go to states, to go to regionals. And I think Smith beats Riki to get to regionals, and I think Hershey gets it together in this consolation bracket, beats King, knocks King out, and then goes on to finish third here in this bracket. It's just, there's so much talent here, and it's just a shame that none of these guys are that they're going to have a chance to compete at regionals.